What's going on, guys? So back at it again with another portfolio update. Today I'm gonna give you an update on my stocks and shares ISA. So yeah, it's not been good for me recently. As you guys know, Tesla has been dropping like a truck. So it's not great. As you guys can see, if we look at the S&P 500 over the past month, the S&P 500 is up a little bit. It's up like 2.5%. That was before at the start of the month. Now it's just been kind of trading sideways. As you look at the Nasdaq's up 2.85% over the past month, but again, it's really been trading like up and down. It's kind of been staying flat for the most part. But if we go into Tesla, it's not looking good. But first, before we get into Tesla, let's look at some other companies like Nvidia. I did own a slight part of Nvidia. We see the massive drop off that I did buy, but then I have since sold. So yeah, I didn't ride all of the upside. I sold it like I bought it like 120, sold it at 125, made a slight 5% profit, but it was enough money in there to make it substantial. I could have kept on holding, but I wanted to buy, always redeploy that money into Tesla because I need to get to that 500 shares marks. So if you go into Tesla right now, we can see that yes, my portfolio has dropped to literally just over £100,000. So if you see, Tesla's now at $327. That came from like an all-time high of in the high 400s. That has since dropped. If you go to the 1 month chart, you can see it's just down 17% in the past month. I'm still holding my 382 shares. Obviously, nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice. This is just what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm holding strong because I have tried to buy and sell out of Tesla in the past, but all that resulted in me was just losing money. So the best strategy I have found is just to buy, hold, never sell, as long as you're happy with the future prospects and long term outlook of that company. I know we have seen some insiders selling, the Robin chair of the board, and we've also had Kimball Musk sell, and obviously he's managed to time his sales pretty perfectly in hindsight, but obviously they have to. The main reason for that is just for the cyclical Q1 weakness that we always see in Tesla. Obviously, they can just make more, get more shares just from working at the company, being board members. I don't effectively have. They effectively have a passive income of shares, and if I had the same, if I could, get more shares from effectively working at the company, then I would have sold at these high prices in the 400s. So that's when I would have ideally sold. My whole family was telling me to sell there, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, it's crashing back down." And I was expecting to go. I was expecting to. There's it's very rare we see a rally from like 200 up to 400, like double, and we don't see some pullback. Obviously, there is some other reasons for the pullback. We have Elon Musk, bots, putting a bid in for OpenAI, and that has led people to think that he might sell some of his Tesla stock, as that's a lot of his value in Tesla stock has drastically increased. And just like we saw with the Twitter acquisition, now X, Tesla stock massively tanked when he was going through that, just because Elon was raising funds. People were scared he was going to sell. Elon's selling. He's a large portion of Tesla. That puts a lot of shares on the market. Lots of supply, and then if there's not the demand to reach that supply, obviously the share price falls. Just basically economic supply and demand. Anyway, if we go into my portfolio, we see it's currently valued at £100,000. So we're still six figures, But obviously, if we look at the height of the portfolio, the height, it was £141,000. So I've effectively lost £41,000 from the height of my portfolio. Obviously, normally when my portfolios drop in, I like to just even it out by consistently putting more money in. Obviously, I can't do that right now because I've used up all my ISA allowance. I do have a little bit of cash, but obviously that's not enough money just to really buy anything. So I've just kind of left it just sit at the 4.9%. And obviously, that's a pretty good interest rate considering it's now higher. Well, it was high before, but considering the Bank of England just reduced its interest rate, again. So now it's only paying 4.5%. The fact that, Trading 2 have been able to maintain their interest rate at 4.9%, is really good. Obviously, it's not, it's very questionable how sustainable that is moving forward. Obviously, if the Bank of England, reduces rates by another percent, then obviously trading 2-on-2 are most likely going to reduce that rate, follow suit. But for the meantime, it's, good that they've managed to keep that. So yeah, as you guys can see, I'm still at 382 shares of Tesla. I'm up 35%, which still isn't bad. I have been invested in the market since early 2021, so over 4 years, just over 4 years now. Which, when you look at 4 years, I would have got a better return in the market, but that is, that when you actually weight that return, you see that the rate of return, because obviously it's time weighted, and obviously new money coming in more recently, that new money has had basically effectively the same return, because obviously that average new buys at the higher price, basically contracts my return, brings up average price and makes it look worse than it actually is, because it's a mixture of money that I was buying for 200 and 400. So if we look at trading 2-on-2's rate of return, it's 63.5%. Obviously that is a lot less. It was like over 100 when it's at these highs. Like if we look, 145 when it's at the all-time high. But I'm not mad about it. I'm gonna hang through, and obviously not financial advice, but I do see Tesla effectively doing like double from where it is now by the end of 2025. I see it being in the $600 a share range in the end of this year. So it's not that much of an increase. So if you look when it was at the 400, it's about a 50% increase from the 400. But as the stock comes down from 400 to 300, now it's basically a double. So yeah, I'm really happy to just be buying more at this current price. I basically just don't even look at the price now. Whenever I have money, that's really I'm making these videos. That's really when I look at the price. I'm not like involved with it day to day. It just basically helps me not to panic sell. I have panic sold in the past and I've lost money. If you want to, like me, tell you the story of how I lost, I effectively lost 37 Tesla shares by buying in, but it's like selling and buying back in and selling and buying back in, trying to make money. Ended up losing like over 10,000 dollars. It was like 37 Tesla shares worth, whatever, times the current price. So yeah, I would be over my goal of 500 shares if when I bought, I just hold and didn't sell. So lesson learned. I don't recommend you guys trying to day trade and try and time the market. Obviously not financial advice. Do your own research and do what you think is right based off, your risk level. I don't recommend like people following my strategy and going all in on Tesla stock, because it is not, it's like we have seen in if you look at the 3-month chart, you're not quite the month, but look at the 3-month chart, in middle of December, my portfolio was £141,000, and instantly it just fell off a cliff. Obviously, I'm hoping it will recover back to that level and even more. My goal of £300,000 across both accounts, is that still achievable? Yes, if I get to my 500 shares, and obviously if this price remains like in the $300 levels, I will go past 500 shares and I will buy other stuff. I was looking at Palantir and I thought, well, that's crazy. So if that pulls back, I'm looking to add into that. If Nvidia pulls back down to the 120, I'll add to that. But my main goal is to get to that 500 share level first, because ultimately I do see Tesla, going crazy in the next 10 years. If you look 10 years down the road, I can easily see it being worth 10 times what it is now. So, as we've heard from Elon in multiple earnings calls, he sees Tesla being worth in the future like more valuable than the next 5 largest companies in the world. Obviously, that's all hypotheticals, and if they have to execute really well, and it is uncertain with competition coming in from China. China is a very big threat. We've seen with DeepSeek, their most recent model. I think although Elon stayed calm, it has almost given everyone for the US companies kind of a, kick up the backside to be like, yeah, let's not sleep on China. China are a real threat in this. So I think that will only, improve, their productivity. And we've seen that Elon is, massive, is just a master when it comes to efficiency, productivity, getting the most out of a small team, small budget. So yeah, I'm not worried at all with this recent dip. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. I try to, reply to every single comments. I said I do. Obviously in one of my previous videos, I got like over 50 comments. So yeah, it's getting to a point now where I can't reply to every one of you, but I do. I will try to reply to as many as I can. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.